a Copiah County, Hazlehurst, Mississippi, Black History Moment. Hey everyone, I'm Corey Collins here in my hometown of Hazlehurst, Mississippi at the Wise Nesmith baseball field on Jackson Street. Did you know that on this day, October 24th, back in 1955, this very field was host of an extraordinary exhibition baseball game? The Negro Mary League All-Stars versus the American League All-Stars. The field was chosen for the game because back at that time, it was known as one of the very best baseball fields in the entire South. In the 50s, some of the greatest players in baseball history graced this diamond right here in Hazlehurst.
Players like Don Newcombe of the Brooklyn Dodgers, Hans Thompson of the New York Giants, Connie Johnson of the Chicago White Sox, Henry Aaron of the Milwaukee Braves, George Crow of the Milwaukee Braves, Sam Jones of the Chicago Cubs, Joe Black of the Cincinnati Redlegs, Louis Loudon of the Canadian League, Gene Banks of the Chicago Cubs, Larry Doby of the Cleveland Indians, Ernie Banks of the Chicago Cubs, Monty Irvin of the New York Giants, Charles White of the Milwaukee Braves, and Willie Mays of the New York Giants.
I had an opportunity to witness history as a child during the time frame that the old professional player was here. Real small youngster. Actually, we didn't even know what it was all about. We just loved baseball.
And when they come, they always stayed at the hotel up there in Hazlehurst, the 3 Inn, what you call it.
They called it the three-way inn, simply because of the 3 doors that you could enter. And it was located right here in this very spot on Monticello Street.
It run by DeWitt Brown and Ola Brown.
Right next to another prominent fixture, the Big 4 cab stand, as they called it back in the day.
Cab stand run by Dave Reese, Miller Davis, J.D. Green, all these people. They had cab, about 5, 6 cabs. Anything you need. With the motel, you get anything you want to pay, food, do anything you want. But I got to see a lot of that stuff. I was young, I want to see Don Newcombe. He had a big old chin, tall guy. I got to see Willie Mays. I got to see Hank Earl. They all at the play down there. Earl Batten, Billy Bruton. See, they have players from different clubs. They were all from one club, different clubs, to pick out players. But they was, just, I was scared to say too much to them because I was young, But I met them all during that time.
Former Hazlehurst Mayor Henry Banks reminisced about some of the great players.
What I remember most about this was the great baseball players that came during that time. Players like Willie Mays and that famous basket catch that he made famous, he did part of right here in Wise Nesmith Field. Hammer and Hank Aaron and his brother Tommy. Hank was a hitter, but it looked like when he played the outfield, he would just glide up under the ball. He like he made very little effort. McCovey and some of the other great players. I remember players like Satchel Paige, who played with the Black Negro League in that time.
But this place here, Mr. Wide, Mr. Neville used to run it. A Wide Motor Company, they owned the place, but they let Mr. Neville keep it up.
Mr. Nesmith used to have little black kids cleaning up around this park after they had sporting events.
And these professional baseball players used to come down here and play during the summer. And man, it was beautiful down there. I mean, you get to see Willie May, Hank Earl, Don Newcombe, Earl Batty. Oh, it's so many, I can't name all, but so many come in there. They would play other team when they come in, you know what I mean? It was really beautiful, man.
But as beautiful as it was, during the 50s, blacks were not allowed inside of the park. They weren't even allowed on Jackson Street because it was a white neighborhood.
This area was a white area. On the white families lived. The black family lived in the side streets that's down there. Now, in order to get here, I had to come up the railroad track and come across down in the lane by Grover's store. Highway 28, as we know it now, was not located in this area. It was over off of Whitworth Street.
And as far as the baseball games, blacks had to watch it from the other side of the fence.
I was around 9, 10 years old. We used to come to this park on Saturday and sometime on Sunday to watch the baseball game from the outside, of course, because we weren't really permitted to come in and be a part of it, except on occasion. Because most of the time when those kinds of things were going on, it was one race only. Now later on, they did build a little section right here on this side of the fence for special folk, for some color. And we knew how to come and where to go and where to sit. And we did our part as it stand in there as far as protocol is concerned. But there was one character here at this baseball park that we remember. His name was John Terra. He was a peanut salesman. John Terra had a singing. He was selling peanut boiled and parched, very delicious, but he said they were 1 for a nickel, 3 for a dime. I would sell them cheaper, but they ain't none of mine. But John Terra would allow 1 or 2 black guys to actually come on the inside and carry the basket while he sold the peanuts.
Well, they used to have a long time ago, I bet you have clown shows, stuff like that. Some guy from Memphis, you come down and call them Memphis Clowns. That's what they call them.
The Indianapolis Clowns also came to Hazlehurst here at Wise Nesmith Field. Tickets were only $1 for adults and 50 cents for children.
Them guys was good too. They was all black. They could do more with a baseball, you could with a basketball. They was good, man. Them guys be stretching, throwing the ball all kind of way. That was good, good.
One of the things I really remember about this park is that when they would have a professional game, black guys would be on the outside like myself, and when they would have a foul ball that would go over the fence, we would run and get that ball sometime before it stopped rolling and take it back to the front gate, and they would play us a dime, 15 cents, sometimes even a quarter to bring the balls back. I don't even think they ever lost the ball because there was so many of us out there doing it. If you said crowd, there was no bleacher room left inside the park.
You think they went on big league baseball plays? They had everything. Section stand, they had anything you wanted. It felt like a big league.
Cars all in the parking lot, all up and down Jackson Street, and people in those cars. If you say an overflow crowd, this was the place where they had an overflow crowd.
I first found out about the players coming to Hazlehurst, the Black Negro League coming to Hazlehurst, from a gentleman by the name of Mr. Walter Lee Banks. Well, actually the late Mr. Walter Lee Banks. He came down to our store and we was talking, because he loved baseball, talking about baseball, and he knew I was a baseball player. And he told me that Willie Mays and Hank Aaron has came to Hazlehurst and played on Hazlehurst Wise Nesmith Field. And I was so excited when he told me that, and I couldn't believe it. And so then when I started coaching the Little League baseball team and the high school team, I had to go over to the high school to pick up some paperwork. And as I was walking down the hallway, I saw on the wall, I saw a pamphlet. And it had on there, the Black Negro League coming to Hazlehurst to play a baseball game. And when I looked at the clipping, I read it, and it had Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, and it had a lot of other Black Negro players from all different Negro League teams. And I was so excited, and I took my phone out and I took a picture of it. Came to the park, and I was telling my high school players, I said, guys, do y'all just don't realize that this field that y'all playing on right now has a lot of history behind it. And they couldn't believe it. And I pulled out my phone, I said, do you know the field that you're on right now? Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, and a lot of other Black Negro players from the Negro League have played on this field. And they said, no, I don't believe that, Coach Collins. I pulled out my phone and I showed them the picture of all the players that were right here at Wise Nesmith Field. And they were so excited. It was just like kids was in the store getting candy that day. And from then on, I've started sharing it every year with all the new players that came out about the richness and the heritage of this baseball field.
But I tell you, the Hazlehurst Red Sox, we was the goodest baseball team you ever want to see back then. When my daddy and them were playing, Ed McKenzie, Jay McKenzie, Lonnie Mckenzie, Blackjack McKenzie, all the Moore boy, John Henry Moore, Willie Frank Moore, Harold McCord. We had a good team you ever want to see. We had a semi-pro team. We was good. We all played baseball because my daddy and them kind of owned the Red Sox back then. Louis Williams, Philip Manners, and all them guys, they was on the Red Sox. Then we kind of took it up. Your dad was involved with the Red Sox one time. I said, your brother got so crazy about baseball. What's his name? Earl. Your daddy got involved with it. He was a stockholder, you know. It was so beautiful, man. They had a lot of stuff going. Red Sox been that. We big time Red Sox baseball though. All been known big time. I had a brother named Jerry, big time. He was a big time baseball player, but he's in the wrong town. He went to Oklahoma for years, you know. Vietnam drafted, they went to the war to Vietnam, messed him up. They still come at him when he come out from Vietnam, but they kind of messed him up. But he still had everything to go with it. He was the Cub come in first, Chicago Cub. He was in the organization one time.
There was one baseball player, the uncle of Jerry McKenzie. His name was Jay. Jay was the best baseball player, and I say that unequivocally, that I've ever seen play in person. And I've seen some great players. I've seen Ernie Banks. I've seen Ferguson Jenkins. I've seen a whole lot of players, Mookie Wilson, Vida Blue, and some of those other players who played. But Jay McKenzie was the best baseball player that I've ever seen play, and he was right here from Hazlehurst, Mississippi.
Marvin Miner, he could have went pro. Marvin Miner he was Jack Stick for you. He was the ace up there. Marvin was good. Marvin Miner had a brother named Snooky. He was a catcher. He like a guy like Daddy Boy. You ever heard of Albert Smith? You know, Coach Smith was good. He was good enough to go. A guy named Newcombe. Newcombe was super good. Newcombe was probably the better athlete ever come through here. He was super good.
Now Newcombe was
Speed Bank brother. Speed Bank was good. Old Speed Bank, he was good.
This field was known for its uniqueness. It was said by some of those players and some others afterwards that this field was one of the best, if not the best, kept baseball field in the South.
During the time frame that the old professional player was here, real small youngster. Actually, we didn't even know what it was all about. We just loved baseball. Baseball was one of those things that I guess tied our communities together.
Even though I was just being born back in 1955, I would have loved to have been here to experience the experience that everybody else was experiencing at this particular game, because I just couldn't imagine seeing players like Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. Even though I've seen them on television, but to see them in person out here, man, it would have been phenomenal to see those guys here at our baseball field here in Hazlehurst, Mississippi. That's something I would cherish the rest of my life.
Some of the greatest names in the history of the sport of baseball were at the Wise Nesmith Field in Hazlehurst, Mississippi on October 24, 1955. A Copiah County, Hazlehurst, Mississippi, Black History Moment.